Comrade Rosa. Comrade Rosa and Salatine. Comrade Rosa going home the better, and Comrade Rosa beat Salatine.
Welcome to this week's edition of the Final Gallop. It is episode 305, and as always, proudly supported by the Brisbane Airport Hotels Group. This week we're going to preview our 3 runners at Flemington on Saturday, as well as our big team of runners at Eagle Farm. Morning, Tony. Plenty of excitement for us at Flemington and back home with Eagle Farm coming back online.
Yeah, good morning, Claire. Good morning, everyone. That is exciting for us. We're back here at home at Eagle Farm. We've had a bit of a layoff here due to some circumstances out of our control. So it's great to be back here. The trials went as according to plan last week, which was good. So we're back racing here at obviously headquarters, really up here in Queensland, and excited to be down at Flemington and what's a really good meeting, Makybe Diva Stakes Day.
Yep.
The meeting is outstanding, and we're lucky enough to be taking part in 2 races.
Yes, exactly. Just quickly rewinding a week ago, 2 back-to-back winners at Doomben for our stable, 4 owners Peachester Lodge with Set to Shine and Simbu.
Yeah, there's a bit of a syndicate in Simbu, but it carries the Peachester colours of Graham and Linda, and it was good to see Set to Shine. I think, what does David Fowler call her, the little ATM. Every time she goes around, she's just spitting money out. So she's going terrific, really, really good. So no, it was a good day at Doomben. All the horses raced particularly well. We're probably unlucky not for a couple of others not to jump on as well with a couple of pretty close seconds. So no, really good days racing last week, and hopefully we can bring that form through to Eagle Farm this Saturday.
Okay, now let's announce the winner of our latest promotion with the Brisbane Airport Hotels Group. The prize is a night's accommodation for 2 at the Ibis Brisbane Airport, including buffet breakfast at Crib Island Beach Club and a midday checkout. And Tony, over to you. The winner is
Ray King, been a long time client of the stable here, so well done, mate. You'll enjoy that. They'll look after you well, Alex and the team out there, and that's certainly a prize well worth winning. Absolutely.
Congratulations, Ray. A representative of the Brisbane Airport Hotels Group will be in touch with your prize voucher. Okay, now let's jump into our preview. Firstly, Makybe Diva Stakes Day at Flemington on Saturday. The rail is in the true position. The track is currently a good 4 with some showers forecast over the coming days. We start in race 7, which is the Group 2 Let's Elope Stakes for the mares over the 1400 metres. We'll have 2 runners in this. Comrade Rosa is the first one, 56 kilos. Joel McNeil rides barrier 2. She's paying $13 to win at the moment and $4 for the place. She did get a little bit upset in the gates at Caulfield last start, which is not like her, but still put in a good effort for 6th in the Group 3 Cochrane, and she should appreciate the bigger track of Flemington and the better draw.
Yeah, you're right. The barriers was a bit of an issue there the other day, and unusual for her. She's got a real bee in a bonnet when she was in there. Whether it was a lot of excessive wind that day at Caulfield, whether it was that in her face or what it was, certainly unused to that sort of conditions up here in Queensland. So I'll take that on trust that won't happen again, because that's totally out of character for her. She enjoyed a nice 4 or 5 days out of Fulman Park. After that run, she's come back to Cranbourne in really good shape. I seen her on Saturday morning, and the work yesterday was terrific. So she presents in great order. I was a bit disappointed in the way she finished her race off the other day, although beaten only a length and 3/4 or just under 2 lengths. I still think she could have done better. I think we'll see that at Flemington. I think getting to the bigger track over the 1400 of a low draw is absolutely ideal. I can't see her being any further back than midfield here off that low draw. We drew a bit sticky the other day, and she was going to get a really nice spot. Then Mark had to just go back and back and back a bit. I think here we just find a midfield position, look to get to the outside and really swoop on him here. I think you'll see a big improvement out of her at Flemington.
Okay. The other runner we have is Wollombi, 56 kilos. Craig Williams rides barrier 3. She's paying $7 to win and $2.60 for the place. She was held up for a really long way in the straight in the Group 3 Cochrane and couldn't get out. Another who should appreciate the bigger track of Flemington, and another nice draw.
Yeah, absolutely. She was just really unlucky there at Caulfield the other day. But the good thing about the unlucky run is the fact that she's come through it so well. She enjoyed Fulman Park as well with Comrade Rosa. She looked brilliant when I saw her Saturday morning. She's just gone on in the preparation. She feels terrific. Obviously, being untested, she's got all that built-up sprint left in her, and I think we'll see that at Flemington. The key for Craig, and Craig does his homework as good or better than anyone. He'll know exactly where he wants to have her and how to ride her. So I think she'll just be round about that same position as Comrade Rosa, exactly where she was the other day at Caulfield, then just looking to get out and get room. And when she does get out, she's got an electrifying turn of foot. We saw that at Ipswich, and we saw from the other day at Caulfield. This mare's grade, they're a very even bunch of mares, and the fact we've drawn low, if we can get room at the right time, I've got no doubt both her and Comrade Rosa are going to be right in the finish of this race.
You're not going to split them?
Oh, I think what we saw the other day, it's hard to get a line on Comrade Rosa off that because of the way she played up in the gates, which is very unusual for her. But the way we saw Wollombi, what she had to offer and didn't get to offer it, I think she has to go on top, and she's just absolutely thriving away.
Okay. And the third runner we have at Flemington on the day is Antino, and he'll be in race 8, which is the Group 1 Makybe Diva Stakes over the mile. He'll carry 59 kilos with Blake Shin riding, barrier 6. He's paying $11 to win and $2.50 for the place. A great opportunity for Antino up against the best milers in the country at weight for age. He was a little bit slow to begin in the Group 1 Memsy last start, but he really did rattle home.
He ran super. He had the Flemington mile sort of written all over him after that run on the Memsy. And I know most of the horses like him are going to improve that were fresh up in that Memsy, getting out to this distance, getting out to the mile at Flemington. And also then you got obviously the favourite, Sistina, who was very good fresh up in Sydney at a home territory, and comes down to Melbourne, and obviously she'll be improved as well. So it's a very strong rendition of the race. I want to see him step better. Yeah. I want to see him be tactically better for Blake. Blake knows him well. I think it's good to have him back on this horse. As I said, he knows him quite well. So it's all going to be up to Antino and how he steps and gets himself into the race early. We know he's got the big finish on him. He can, and I think what we saw in the Memsy, he's clearly up to this grade.
Yep.
It's just a matter of how much work he makes himself has to do if he steps away too slow. So it's all over to him now. We've done everything we can.
Yep. Hopefully
he'll just step and help us out a little bit, because if he does, he'll certainly put himself in a position to be there in the finish.
Okay. Now on to our preview for runners at Eagle Farm on Saturday. The rail is in the true position. The track is currently a soft 5 with a partly cloudy day forecast for race day. You think the track will race well after its break?
Yeah, I do. I thought when we trialled here last week, it still surprised me there was a little bit more kickback. I still think the track is, even though they've done a lot of work with it in this break, there's still a bit of sand coming out of it, and it's not exactly what it was pre that bug they got in it there in the summer with all that hot and wet weather. So I don't know if it's back to its absolute optimum yet, but it's certainly in better shape than what we saw of it in the winter, that's for sure.
Okay, we start in race 3, which is the benchmark 70 handicap over the 1200 metres. A race we've got 5 runners in. John Rambo is the first one, 61 kilos with Jag Guthrie Chester riding, barrier 1. He's currently paying $4.60 to win and $1.90 for the place. Was okay for third, first up at Doomben, 2 from 2 at this track and trip, and drawn to get a gun run.
He's drawn a beautiful run, that low draw, 61 kilos. It's probably not as big a deal when you look at the press weight scale of this race, so I'm not too worried about the weight. I think the big track is what suits him. There is a lack of tempo now with scratchings in this race, but from 1, if you can just step good for Jag, and he's got terrific hands, the bloke, and he's riding in really, really good form.
Yep.
If we can find a third pair, 3 pairs back the fence sort of spot, there's no reason on the big track of Eagle Farm, where they normally get room, that he can't really finish his race off. So I think he's better second up than what he was first up, and he's certainly better going from Doomben out to Eagle Farm. Okay,
next one is Spirit Queen, 60.5 kilos. Angela Jones rides, barrier 4. She's paying $8.50 at the moment to win and $2.70 for the place. Has just found a few better in her past 5 starts since a win. Generally runs well at Eagle Farm, and the blinkers go back on.
Loves the big tracks. I think that's key. I just felt the last couple, she's hitting that bit of a flat spot. We probably tactically had to ride her a little bit closer than where I normally would want to the other day when we went to that Class 6 plate. I think in a race like this, it's very important we just ride the horse, not the race. We just let her find her feet, even if it means we're back a pair with the blinkers on. Then we can just get to the outside and come with 1 run in the straight. That's the sort of horse she is. I think the blinkers will alleviate that flat spot we're seeing with her. And I think getting back to a good track at Eagle Farm is a huge plus for her. I think she's over the odds. Okay, Miss Tambo is the next one, 57 kilos. Martin Harley rides, barrier 12. She's paying $16 to win and $4.20 for the place. She'll be fitter for her first up run at Doomben, which was solid after a fairly long time off. Really good run, had a long layoff. Can present up fresh up, but not off the layoff that she's had. I thought the last 100 metres on a track that was hard to make up ground, she just peaked. So I think you'll see a much, much better performance from her now. And she's got that good form around Black Max last preparation. So that form's easily good enough for 70s. Like he'll be competitive in 85. So I think she's got the right form. She's a little bit overlooked here. Marty Harley rode her last prep, so he does know her. The barrier makes it sticky. He's just got to be able to try and find a nice spot midfield or the back of the speed somewhere with a bit of cover. Fourth runner is Sarina Sophia. She'll carry 55.5 kilos. CJ Graham will ride her. She'll jump from barrier 3. She's paying $19 to win and $4.80 for the place. Disappointing result for her last start when she led and faded, but she is much better than that. Well, started favourite the other day, and all of a sudden she's nearly 20 to 1 here, due to it was just a poor ride. He went to the front, let her know when that's not her style. Her style is to get back off them with cover and show a good turn of foot. So it was just a wrong decision from Jimmy Orman. He doesn't make a lot of bad decisions, but that was a bad decision on the day. So if she can overcome that and come back and settle, which is the key here, she's got to jump and just come back in behind them, get some cover and relax, she can show a good turn of foot. Her best form in Sydney, which hasn't been this preparation is my only concern, is certainly good enough to win a 70 here at Eagle Farm. But she's just got to be able to come back, relax, and show a turn of foot.
Okay, and the last one in this race is Ludovisi, 54.5 kilos with Emily Lang's 3 kilo claim. He's drawn barrier 7. He's currently paying $21 to win and $5 for the place. It's first up for his preparation, coming off a soft trial a fortnight ago, and you've put a tongue tie on.
Going really well. Always plays with the bridle, this horse. So we've whacked the tongue tie on him to keep it under the bit. He's a nice horse, going to be a nice horse for further. I think 7 furlong and a mile is where we're going to see him. But the big track of Eagle Farm's an ideal starting point for him. He'll just be ridden back off them with a bit of cover as well, and you'll see him hit the line. He's a nice horse. He's going really well, this horse. He's got good Melbourne form for races like this, but I'd love to see him in this grade over the 1400.
How are you splitting the 5?
John Rambo, he goes on top, and I think our top 2 horses in the weights are probably our 2 best chances. But Johnny Rambo, look, when he does things right, which I think Jag will really suit him, he's a pretty quality horse.
Okay. We'll go to race 4 now, which is a Class 3 plate over 1800 metres. Kokonotsu runs 57 kilos with Emily Lang's 3 kilo claim. Kokonotsu's drawn barrier 10. He's paying $7 to win and $2.54 at the place. It was disappointing late second up over the Doomben Mile, but you've made 2 important gear changes for this, tongue tie and winkers. Yeah,
I thought he just raced a bit keen the other day, and he was really flat then late.
Yep.
He was pretty disappointing, but he looks brilliant, the horse. I can't fault him since the run. He's definitely come on. So we put a tongue tie on him just when he had his mouth open, just whether he choked himself down early or not, and that's why he didn't finish off. It's the only thing I can put that down to. So the winkers go back on. They're a gear change he's had before. He likes a bit of headgear. They go back on. The tongue tie goes on just to help him breathe if he does get a bit keen, and see if we can see a turnaround, because I was totally gobsmacked by his second up run. His first up run was terrific, totally unlike him and our horse's second up to race the way he did. And so I can safely say you can see him bouncing back third up.
Okay, race 5 is the benchmark 78 handicap over the 1,000 metres. We've got 2 runners in this. The first one we'll talk about is our friend Liquor, who likes the attention, likes the camera. She'll carry 59.5 kilos with Emily Lang's 3 kilo claim, and she'll jump from barrier 8. She'll pay $6.50 to win and $2.20 for the place. Coming off back-to-back wins and a soft trial last week to keep her up to the mark. Highest rated horse in the race, and does get in really well with Emily's claim.
The claim's important. You know, we can keep her in this grade. She's already shown this preparation that she's very effective in this grade of racing. So had her in the open as well. I thought come up pretty strong open. Elected to go this way with the claim. She's lovely on speed sort of horse. Loves Eagle Farm. Races really well at the track. You know, for a fast, speedy, short course horse, she seems to race well on the bigger tracks. We saw her race really well at the Sunshine Coast, and I've seen her obviously win races here at Eagle Farm. So for me, I think she's an outstanding chance. Okay,
Michelle will also race in this, 59.5 kilos, Jimmy Allman on board, barrier 2. He's paying $15 to win and $3.90 for the place. Just found one better on the day last start at the Sunny Coast, drawn nicely for this race.
Yeah, well, he's drawn how Jimmy wants to ride him. Every time Jimmy gets on him, he's drawn a wide gate to have to go back further and give ground. This time here, he's just going to jump and find the back of the speed. We saw him at the Sunshine Coast. He sat outside lead when Emily rode him, not by plan. He just jumped so well, and she was just stuck there. And that's not his favoured position. So I think with Allman on, there's enough pressure here. He just finds the back of the speed on the fence. He gets such a soft run, then he's going to be very strong to the line. He's on a 10-day backup, but you wouldn't know it if you see him. The horse looks fantastic. Great. Definite each-way chance.
And Liquor on top.
Liquor goes on top. She's just such a good short course horse, She trialled good here the other day. We had a bit of a space between runs. She trialled Eagle Farm on the course properly. If you watch that trial, Emily never let her go. Ange rode her, never let her go. Just sat on her in the trial, give her a very soft time beside the likes of Far Too Easy, King Kapa, those sort of horses. She was just sitting like that. So I think she's well placed and well weighted here.
Race 8 is the quality handicap over the 1,000 metres. 2 runners in this. King Kapa will start with 56.5 kilos. Jimmy Allman rides. He'll jump from barrier 6. King Kapa's paying $6 to win and $1.65 for the place. Was not far off in his last 3 races, all stakes races, including the Ramornie last start. Had a 1,000 metre trial last week, looking very good in the run and through the line.
He was terrific the other day. Had to do a little bit of work on him to get over and across outside Liquor in that trial, and he finished it off well under minimal pressure. That's brought him on nicely. He needed that. He's come through it well. He worked really well here on Tuesday morning. Barry is a little bit sticky. There's a lot of speed in this, even though it's a smaller field, there's still a good pressure. He'll jump and I'd imagine find the back of that speed and be very good to the line. He's a quality horse that gets in well at the weights due to the top weight being in the race.
Okay, other runner we have in this is Hidden Wealth, 53.5 kilos. Angela Jones rides barrier 1. Hidden Wealth paying $2.15 to win and $1.16 for the place. One is passed 2 at this track before a short let up. Loves Eagle Farm and is coming off an impressive trial win a fortnight ago.
Yeah, he's a very impressive horse. He's just going through his grades nicely with Far Too Easy being in this, carrying that 61 kilo. This horse gets in beautifully, 53.5. He's in good shape, he's drawn low, he'll bounce, he'll be right there on the back of what looks to be a good speed. He'll also make those speed horses work early. He's a very impressive horse, very progressive horse. I think just the way he gets in this race, he's very hard to beat.
So he goes on top.
He goes on top. I just think King Kapa is drawn a little bit sticky here.
Yeah.
He's going to take a bit of a ride, but we have got Ormond on, which is a big help in these sorts of races. Both horses are really sharp, both ready for the 1,000 off their little Winter Carnival layoffs.
Yep.
And then hopefully these horses both race well. We see them at the Wheatwood at Toowoomba in 2 weeks' time.
Okay, race 9 is the Colts, Geldings and Enties. No Metro wins handicap over 1,400 metres. Warby will run 59.5 kilos. Ryan Maloney in the saddle, barrier 13. Warby's paying $4.80 to win and $1.95 for the place. Has put together 3 second placings in a row, motoring home to miss by less than a length in each. A return to this track and trip could be a turning point for him.
Yeah, well, he was beating a pimple the other day, not less than a length. He's an absolute pimple, and he just didn't get to use that barrier to any advantage at all. So barrier 13 here, well, he may as well have 13 at Doomben the other day on a day where it was so hard to make up ground. So I think here suits him. Eagle Farm suits him, good ground suits him, big track. Maloney knows him well. I want to see him step better for him. If we can be, just worse in midfield with a few behind us, he can really finish off here. But this big track at 1,400, he's ran in better races than this. So a lot of the punters and tipsters will jump off him. That's just what they do with a horse like him. But his pattern is suited to good ground at Eagle Farm, and he finally gets it.
Okay. Now into the final furlong of this week's Final Gallop. Who is your best winning chance at Flemington or Eagle Farm on Saturday?
I'm going to go with Hidden Wealth. Okay. I think barrier 1, very progressive horse. I know he's the shortest horse in the market, so he's probably not the hardest to tip. I tossed up between him and this mare here, but I think Hidden Wealth, very smart horse going through the grades.
Best each way chance?
I wouldn't go past Wollombi at Flemington. I thought we saw the other day at Caulfield. She's got to be a good each way chance, and I think here, this mare here, Liquor, she's sort of each way odds. I'd have a look at her each way, but on a day where I think we've got a very strong team in.
Best at the Provincials, just the Sunny Coast on Sunday.
We'll leave the Provincials alone this week.
Okay, your best track worker this week?
Best track worker this week, she was terrific, this mare. All worked pretty good. The 2 mares, they worked terrific, and Antino down in Melbourne. I saw those all Saturday with myself, and then obviously Bailey gives us the feedback on Tuesday and we looked at the data. So that team's going great. They all went well, and I think Miss Tambo, she's a big improver. She's a lot fitter than what she was fresh up.
Do you have 1 or 2 to black book from the jump outs on Tuesday? Yeah,
we got a new horse to the stable, one of Graham and Linda's, one of the Huddies, Giggles. Okay. Really like her. She's going terrific. Yep. Right from McAvoy's, so she's well placed here in Queensland. I think she's won. Brentwood, really happy with him. He just defies age. Every prep he gets better and better. So really happy the way he's going. I like a little filly there, unraced, just turned 3, Rebellious Spirit, and she's a really nice filly. So you'll see our Brisbane spring team, a lot of these fresh horses sort of stepping out over the coming weeks.
And your winner for the week?
My winner for the week, I could say Simbu because he was bloody good, but I'm going to go with Set to Shine. Yeah. She just keeps getting the job done. I really like Castilian in the race. I just thought the way where he drew, the things would pan out, but she just does things so well. So Set to Shine, she is my winner of the week. Okay.
Now it is time for Cav's Corner, which is supported by the Brisbane Airport Hotels Group. Back to the drawing board for Cav after he missed his multi again last week. Let's see what he's settled for this week.
Welcome to Cav's Corner for this week. Before I give him my tips, just like to wish young Emily Lang a very happy birthday for today. Anyway, we'll get to our tips. We'll go to Eagle Farm on Saturday. We'll go John Rambo, a win. into Warby a place. Good punting, guys.
So he's gone John Rambo a win into Warby a place. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I like it. I mean, Johnny Rambo's a bloody good horse for
Yeah.
benchmark 70s, so his run the other day was terrific on a day you couldn't make up ground. So I think that's a good one. And Warby, well, look at his form.
Place, yeah.
Look at his form. He very rarely misses a place. So
Yeah.
I think he's got a pretty good multi there, Cav, this week.
Yes.
I don't know what it's paying, but it's well worth it.
Okay, well, good luck on Saturday, Tony. A big day of spring racing ahead, both at Flemington and Eagle Farm for our stable.
Yeah, no, and I think Craig's already mentioned it.
Yeah.
Happy birthday to one of the newest members of our team,
Emily Lang. Yep.
30 today. Happy 30th. Maybe not 30.
Yeah. Them's fighting words, those are. Anyway, best of luck to everyone for the whole weekend.